vision, right? I just automatically went behind the patient and did this routine. Now that's the best way to do it, right? Because he doesn't see my arms over here, right? Not hard to figure out when the hands are going to show up. However, particular individual here is not in a prison. He's not trying to get out of work or compensation or anything like that. He's not a, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an M. Malingerer, right? So, I can just go right in front of him. Look at my nose right here. Tell me if you see one or two fingers. Oh, my nose, sorry. Before that, look at my nose right here and point to my fingers when you see them. Okay? So if you can't get around behind the person, you just do it from the front. So really, unless you're planning on a career as a prison doctor, anybody? Then you don't really have to worry too much about going from behind. You can see where it's more accurate, but you can still do it from the front. I had a friend who was a prison doctor at one time, and there was a soldier that every time they had to do a 10K or a 10-mile run would fake, my face is all numb, I can't feel anything.
Your face around soldier.
Well, that would work too, but the doc goes, I know he's faking, I don't know how to test for this. So it wasn't my idea, and I wish it was, but another doc suggested he took a tongue depressor and he put a thumbtack in. Okay? So he tested, oh, no sensation, no sensation. Then he put the tongue depressor in the guy's mouth and whacked the inside. Well, trigeminal is still the inside. The guy, ow! And next thing you know, he's out there. Right? He was trying to fake, and we came up with a good test for it. Anyway, okay. So remember, that's just for the peripheral vision thing. For 5 and 7, 5 is easy. Put your fingers behind your jaw and clench, and you can feel the masseter muscle, right? And that's how I would test on the patient as well. I'll put my fingers, clench your jaw, please. Now all I'm going to do for here is I'm going to go up over his temples and ask him to clench again. And what am I testing there? Temporalis, right? Now both 5 and 7 have the hearing thing. At this point, we've been talking for 10, 15 minutes. If he kept saying, huh, what, speak louder, you know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about a hearing problem. So hyperacusis, that ends. We're going to worry till number 8. So for motor 5, masseter and temporalis. All right. How are we going to test the muscles of the face? Well, remember, whenever we can, we don't just want to see if the muscle can move. We want to know it has full strength, right? Put your arms up, push down, that kind of thing. So I want you to smile for me, big. Okay. Now, there's 2 ways to go here. One is smile, the other one is show your teeth. If the guy was 85 and they brought him from his home in the morning and he hadn't had his dentures in, it's a little awkward when he says, I don't have any teeth. Quite seriously, right? A lot of elderly patients, that's the thing. Now, the argument on the other side is it okay to say smile? That's a very emotional thing. If I have an 85-year-old stroke patient who's obviously and very much, can you smile for me, dear? You know what I mean? Like, so I just like to go with smile. Okay, it covers all the bases and everything else. But that's just to make sure this moves. How do I test for strength? Can you pop out your cheeks, please? Now, if you've ever been to the dentist and gotten frozen, you know you probably can't even do this, right? What am I going to do? I'm going to try to knock the air out of your cheeks and don't let me, okay? So puff out, and I just tap on either side. Now, this isn't like the shoulder one, okay? If I want to knock the air out, I'm going to be able to do it. So try it on yourself. Just puff out. And see how much you need to actually knock the air out. Do it again. Okay. It's just a kind of a little hard tap, right? So, you smile, so both sides of the mouth are working. I ask him to puff out. I test the strength of both. Now I got to test the upper part of the head or face, don't I? So I want you to close your eyes really, really, wait, hold on. Let's try something first. I want you to raise your eyebrows, please. And you see that it wrinkles on both sides, right? Wrinkle your forehead, again, may not go over well with every patient. So raise your eyebrows, you see equal movement on both sides, but I've got to test the strength of that, right? So I want you to close your eyes really, really tight, and I'm going to try to open them and don't let me, okay? I put my fingers on his eyebrows, not his eyelids, and I just push up a little bit. Now again, I can win that test, okay? I just want to make sure there's resistance on both sides. So I've now tested facial muscles, upper and lower, for movement and strength. So, masseter, temporalis, smile, raise your eyebrows, and then the eye close thing.
How is he resisting?
Well, I'm asking him to close real tight, and then I'm just pushing a bit like that.
Oh, okay.
Again, if I want to get in there, I can win it, but I just want to make sure that there's some resistance. Okay, what else do I got to worry about for 7? Chelsea. Cranial nerve 7. Taste, right? Well, again, he's probably not going to come in and say, I'm experiencing a loss of taste on the left side of my tongue near the front. What's going to happen here, this is where dialogue and stuff comes in. All right, the general conversation on that. So you're asking questions like, have you noticed a change in your diet? Dry mouth, dry eye, are you putting more spices on your food, more salt, anything like that? And he says, nope, 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 everything's good, so I'm okay for that. Actual testing for taste, you've got to have like a solution of sugar and a solution of salty and put little litmus squares on the tongue. And, ugh, don't want to have to bother with that one. What about salivation? It is going to be affected, right? But you've got 4 salivatory glands. So he's not going to say, I'm not salivating at all. He might not even notice. Now, lacrimation, on the other hand, would be pretty obvious, right? Only 1 lacrimal gland per eye. So, questions of a general nature, you know, you're talking to the patient. You avoid jargon. You avoid technical terms. Hi, I'm going to check your hypoglossal nerve. He has no idea what I just said, okay? But I said, oh, look, I've got to do some tests. Can you stick your tongue out, please? And off we go. But at the same time, you don't want to be silent. So that's kind of the repertoire you want to get to, right? Where you are basically doing the tests and getting your other information. How's your diet lately? You know, everything going okay for food and stuff like that. Okay, so that's your basic deal for 5 and 7. Now the last thing we got on doing there is what? The corneal reflex, right? You wear contacts? Okay, who here, English? Who in here is wearing contacts?
Feedback?
Thank you. Okay. When we do the corneal reflex, you are actually attempting to touch the cornea, right? The colored part, not the white part, the sclera. But in anyone who's got contact lenses, as you well know, you could poke lead and nothing's going to happen. So for contact lenses, people, you're going to have to go for the sclera, the white part. All right? Here's how we do the thing. First step, nice and simple, you want to be at the side. People get paranoid about their eyes. Last thing they want to see is me coming in with a cotton swab. You know what I mean? So, I would ask in this case, I'll do it in a moment, but I'm going to ask David to look up and to the right. And you see what happens when he does, right? Now, number 1, he can't see me coming. And number 2, his eyes get wider. Makes it easier for me. We then take our cotton swab, and you roll the end to get a little point. This is your wisp of cotton. Okay, and it's just a little pointy guy at the end here, like that. Now, you notice if you ever put a ball of cotton, there's that one little thread that'll go for, so just make sure you get rid of that guy. Okay, no problem, nice and simple. Going to ask him to look up and to the right. This angle here. Now, I'm not going to do it yet, but even I would generally tend to brace my hands. So you see what I'm kind of doing here? I'm just quickly coming in, just like that. All right, nice and quick. So he's looking up and to the right. I put my hand there, and that was it. Right? Just as long as both eyes blink. Try it again. And that's a perfect. Huh?
One eye. Just that one blinked.
All right. I can't see from where I am. So one more time. Maybe I'm not close enough to the cornea. There we go. No, I was coming in with the sclera. That's why he was just reacting to, you know, eyebrows and stuff like that. The other thing, when they look up and away, people with very long eyelashes, you get to see the eye better as well, right? So, look them up and overlay. Boom, you come in quick, but make sure, as you just saw me, I didn't hit the cornea. I didn't get a response. Now, yeah, it's a little whatever, but what do you say after that? Great reflex. Okay, now we move on to the next thing, right? So that's the corneal reflex. Now, please make sure you toss these away after. I don't want to have to clean them up off the surface of the floor. So, 5 and 7, off you go. And remember, whenever you have spare time, you should be practicing something. Reflexes, whatever. Make sure you're